believe I was on the board for 3 years, once as president my third year, and then my fourth year was president. And then I was ex officio, so actually 5 years, and I'm still on the board as your mascot. Oh my gosh, it didn't feel like I was president. We were all just a team. We were a group. We were a force, and it was exciting to be here and to be with the women. And we stayed, all of our meetings were in the Commodore's room, or in the Cove House. We would bounce back and forth in the old Cove House. And we would all stay for dinner after, and we would literally be dragged out of here. But it was, it was pre-COVID. It was a time of, we were all out having fun. We all could. It was like just a group of my best friends. It was really lovely. We raised a ton of money. Our fashion shows were, a must be at. I felt like everything we touched was successfully attended. My favorite thing that we did was back in the day, we were able to serve and bartend for the staff for Christmas. And so we all had name tags, and we got to work behind the bar. It was hilarious. And then served the dinner. But we gave the money for us to buy all the gifts for the employees. So it was really nice to be there. And then one year we even went over to Servino's so that the staff didn't feel like they were here, like partying in their own employment. So we had a blast doing that. We did that for a bunch of years. I don't know that I wanted to be president, but I was so devoted. I am so devoted. For whatever reason, one of the best things, it's kind of emotional, for me is the auxiliary and the club and the women that I've met in that way of giving back again, and the sisterhood. I really loved my sorority, and this kind of reminded me of that union again, where you depend on other women. And again, it's like sailing, where you depend on your crew, and they were my crew. Even when I was, my first year on auxiliary, and all different age demographics, all different backgrounds, moms, not moms, all different employment, not employed. We all just came together, and we had the one job, which was to make this club thrive, and we did. Absolutely. It does take the time commitment. You definitely need to be ready for that, and also have a bit of joy for volunteerism and philanthropy, to be honest. It's really, being on the auxiliary board for me felt so good to give back to the club. It was really I joined as I don't want to say social member, but I was not a racer. But my first experience with auxiliary was somebody asked me to be the Easter Bunny. I think it was either Lisa Harris or Elizabeth Merrill. I've been a member now for like 23 years, I believe, so it was that long ago. I was so excited. So I was out throwing the eggs down on the old lawn back there. And that was kind of my first thing. But I didn't get asked to be on the board for a long time after that, which was fine. But I always watched it and wanted to be on it. But at that point, I was also really aggressively doing racing. And then I was also been on entertainment and been on race committee and a few other boards. But I did always want to be on auxiliary. So it was a goal. Community, value, a meeting house, a place to come and have time with people who have a lot in common without saying it. You're all here for a reason, the common reason. I was living in San Francisco, and Steve was here, and then I was on the board and racing and all of that. I was still very active, even living in the city. We started dating, and then I moved right across the street to be closer, which is a little dangerous. And then he sailed to Hawaii in 2014, Pat Cup, and the boat broke in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And when he got to shore, he asked me to marry him. And so that was during the summer. And during the summer, we didn't have meetings. So I was on my mom's board, and we showed up in September, and we had to go around the table or not go, we didn't have to, but we went around the table and said, what did we do this summer? And I said, I got engaged, which was kind of cool. And Steve was shipwrecked, and he also had a stroke. So there was kind of a lot that happened. And then we got married in December of 2014. So that was a massive year for me. But I got through it with my yacht club family, and obviously the auxiliary was huge in that part. To make it fun. Love thy neighbor. Enjoy. Stay on it. Help. I feel like after one goes off auxiliary, there's always a place to come back. Even if you take a break for 5 years, you can come back and volunteer. I feel like I've been on a fair amount of nominating for the auxiliary boards, and we always look for past members to come back and shed some wisdom for the new members of the yacht club, a new auxiliary board, because it is so important. And I'm sure keeps everybody alive too. And the auxiliary board's still alive. It's nice to see new growth and to see new traditions and all of that, but I think there's a lot to be said for old traditions as well. I love the auxiliary. I'm a lifer, not going off. Sorry.